is having the settings tuned correctly, such that they're within your capacity. If we tried to have me lift 400 pounds, that wouldn't go so well. I might try it. I'm going to, do everything I can to make it happen, but invariably I'm going to use weird muscles and have poor mechanics, et cetera, et cetera.
Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Nick Halsey with Motus Nova. I'm a licensed neurophysical therapist and neuroscientist helping brain injury survivors understand how to make functional gains after their injury. I hope this video helps you in your recovery.
But any other questions for me?
I have a really bad problem of like when I'm trying to use one muscle, accidentally kicking in a different muscle in my arm. So like when I'm trying to lift my wrist up, I'm like pulling, I don't know what this is up here, my trap, I guess.
The trap.
I'm tweaking that up really bad.
Yep.
And I don't know how to not do that.
Okay. So these compensatory motions are very, very common. Now, I want to do this after we get, we'll do an assessment. And I also want to see kind of how your motion is outside of the Motus hand too. So maybe we can do it afterward. But with regard to putting in those, trying to suppress those compensatory motions, one of the best things that we can do is make sure that it is tuned. The settings are tuned to what your capacities are, right? For instance, if this is your range of motion, and again, this is just examples here. This is your range of motion. And if I set your settings to this, you're going to try, because competitive, you want to try to succeed, you're going to try to get to those higher ranges of motion. But the consequence of that is that you're going to put your whole body into it and you're going to kind of torque things around a little bit, and it might cause these compensatory motions to emerge. And so part of the way that we can prevent that from happening is having the settings tuned correctly, such that they're within your capacity. If we tried to have me lift 400 pounds, that wouldn't go so well. I might try it. I'm going to, do everything I can to make it happen, but invariably I'm going to use weird muscles and have poor mechanics, et cetera, et cetera. So we want to be able to have the device tuned to your capacities. And if we don't have that, we might have these asynchronous or these sort of, asynchronous sort of situations where you are using your trap or your delt, et cetera, et cetera. We want to avoid that. So let's get into it then. Let's see kind of where you are right now, and we can make some adjustments contingent upon what we see from the data. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
How about that?
That was better.
Okay, cool. Well, I think we're very, very near where we need to be. So I'm happy with this. So if you wouldn't mind, you want to go ahead and take your Motus hand off? We can kind of just get a quick see how things are without it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, give me, let's first look at your right hand real quick. Let's just kind of do it side by side, just kind of normal up and down. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. Does that happen when you get tired?
Yeah. When I get tired, my muscles just get really shaky.
Yeah. How about, are you able to close? Okay. And then open as far as you can. And you can use your right hand to kind of hold if you want. Yeah. Here and then up as far as you can. Yeah, and then close again once more. Oh, nice. That's pretty good. Good. And then close down. Okay. Are you able to get fingers side at all? Kind of like abduction, as they will, kind of.
I've never tried that before.
Yeah. Your first finger's doing.
What I've been able to do is kind of lift this one up, which I wasn't able to do before I started using the Motus hand.
Yeah. How about on the thumb side? Any change there?
I haven't tried using my thumb at all.
Okay. Are you able to, how about, so you do have a bit of tone. How about with rotation, about your kind of, your wrist and your elbow like that? Okay, nice. You got a little bit of accessory motion there happening. That's okay, good. Cool. Well, that's pretty good. And this is also just helpful for us too. That way we can kind of see, when we see each other next, we can look at this and see kind of how we're doing. We can, put the videos up and we can say, hey,
If you're finding this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe to help other brain injury survivors learn how Motus Nova is changing neuro-rehab.
This is where you were, Megan, a month ago, and this is where you are now. Because we got the data we can look at, and then we can also have the videos of you just doing functional things. That's one thing I also want to mention too, is that I know you're doing 70 minutes, trying to hit over an hour each day, which is great. And I don't know what else is going on in your life, but it's also helpful, or can be very helpful, to do some functional stuff outside of the Motus hand. I don't know how much of that you're doing now, but I just wanted to bring that up as a kind of a reminder that if you do have the time, see if you can figure out a little bit of a program that you can start to incorporate to do some more functional things with your hand as well. I very much ask people to do this kind of after that period of time when they're using the Motus hand, because your kind of system's primed a little bit and you're ready to go. And so, before, when you're doing 70 minutes, that might be pretty tough, especially if you're really tired. But maybe now at 35 minutes each session, you may be able to spend 5 or so minutes afterward trying to do some like reaching or opening your hand, those types of things. That could be something that can be very helpful for you. And I would just encourage you to do that as much as you can, if you're not already doing that. So I just want to bring that up.
Is there, so I've been just, after my sessions, just kind of looking at my fingers, trying to open or just move them.
Yeah.
And then also another thing is just my brain responds really well to reaching out for things. So I would just reach out towards my cup or a light switch or a door handle.
Yes, all of those. Yes. I would say, some people looking at their hand and doing that is fine. I think that there are having a sensory cue of a task and a goal in mind, such as for me, like a cup of coffee, this is going to be the most motivating thing in the world. So yeah, if whatever that is for you, I've actually worked with someone in the past who, what we did is she was very, very motivated about brushing her hair. And so after we had the Motus hand time, we would actually go straight into a program where she would just work on trying to get that hand control right for holding a brush. And so we worked on, chunks of time, 10, 15 minutes at a time. We're going to try to get the aperture right of the hand, right? Because you can imagine a brush has a certain aperture you have to get your hand to, being able to then grab that, being able to do those compound motions. So, whatever it is for you, if you need to have some help with your arm being on a table to kind of work on that reaching and grasping, that way you can kind of work on just the individual components of the wrist and the hand, do that. But be very, very regimented about it too. I think you don't need to go straight to like an uncontrolled or an unsupported reaching and grasping motion. Do it where it's supported. And that way you can really focus on trying not to keep your traps on, right? Because if you have your arm supported, then you can kind of slide forward, keep your traps off, and just work on that uncoupled motion of your wrist and your hand. So I would very much encourage you to do that and have a goal in mind, have a target in mind. Otherwise, the free-form motions are fine, but I would say much more benefit by having some goal.
Okay.
Thanks for watching this video. If you have questions or would like to speak with me about how you can make functional gains from home, call or text me at 404-939-3476 or visit motusnova.com/contact.